Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, and wherever else you are in the world. It's 6 a.m. here, Saturday morning. What is today? 19th, big 1-9 of March. Who we got in here this morning? We got Greg, Mike, and Patrika. Three of the regulars, and the fourth regular is actually sitting down there waiting to talk to me on the live stream. For those who haven't seen, I have a collector's item right here. Not even he has one of these things. This iPhoneography podcast cup, mug, whatever you want to call it. Not even he has one. Not even Greg McMillan has one. Shane Wattson's the only one with this sucker. And I'll let Greg tell you all about that one day. But basically, the company that he's used to make these didn't like the fact that it says iPhone, and they said that's a copyright infringement. So, cheers, Greg. It's a good cup. Today we're talking about. I'll bring Ralph on in just a second, and I'll tell you all a story that didn't happen. I've finally got my hands on this bad boy. That's the S20. That's the S22 Ultra, and I've got some pretty strong feelings about this. I'll probably leave it for a video when I call it ugly, just because the algorithm on YouTube loves it when people say, you're mongrel, it's not ugly. But that's actually quite a cool looking phone. I like it so much better than what I do the S21 Ultra. Actually, where I'm watching from, it's midnight. And where's that? Where are you watching where it's midnight? This bloke. Where is it going to get on there? Is it going to get on there? It is. Pretty stoked for today's show. See what the capabilities of S22 are. You're going to buy one of these, Mike. I just know you are. After you see some of what I've got to show you here, yeah, you're going to buy one. I just know it. And I wish I had an Amazon affiliate link for the S22s. Morning, Andre. Lisa, I'm in Ontario too. Look at these two little Canadians chatting to each other, probably apologizing already. Am I right, Greg? Am I? Yeah, I am. From India. Good night. Well, I'm not sure if you guys can, if that music is bothering you. I might turn it down a little bit. I can hear it a bit too much in my ears. Anyway, look at these Canadians. Look at these Canadians talking all like apologetic and stuff. Anyway, let's bring this fella in. Ralph Mayhew. How you doing, man? You're on, Ralph. Hello, Ralph. Ralph's frozen. What an entry. I think he has frozen. Oh, no, there he is. Are you there, Ralph?
Oh, no.
Oh, no, you're not there. I think you're coming back. Oh, there you are. You're moving. I can see you moving. Can you hear me, Ralph? Hello, Ralph. Hello, Ralph.
Hang on, I'm just trying to make it work on my end.
Oh, right. Oh, that's not looking good. That's not looking good at all. This is like top-notch entertainment for you folks right here. Oh, and sound. That sounds like it's an Irish place there, Greg. Oh, and sound. Who else we got to say? Anyone else in here? I've been waiting for your video. Your S22. Oh, Ralph's joining again. Which Ralph should I add to the stream? I'll remove this Ralph.
Hey.
And I'll get rid of that Ralph. Ban from studio. Kick from studio. Should I kick him or not? I kicked the right one. It's all right. Because down the bottom there, I had two Ralph Mayhews trying to join the
They didn't
stream.
kick me. How are you, man?
The joys of live broadcasting. That's all right.
They're so keen.
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you feeling? How are you feeling?
Yeah, good. I've just had to. That's the first time the internet. Yeah, good. Can you hear me?
Yep. I can, but I reckon your internet connection might be shitting hosen because you're freezing up a bit.
Yeah. I know.
You're like one of those stop motion films, without the sound. He's not coming. Is he coming? Is he not coming? Is he coming? You got to turn that. Get those hamsters woken up, mate. Down on the Gold Coast to turn that internet little generator. I'm just going to keep talking. So I when I see you start moving, I'll know that you've sorted out your shit. Maybe. So I've just recently gone to the Gold Coast. We snuck away for a couple of days, and leading up to that, I was working out how to meet up with Ralph, and we were going to go to. He's gone. Some waterfalls up in the Gold Coast hinterland. I've just got a private chat there from him. How good is this? Let me try Chrome. He's going to try Chrome. Maybe. Oh no, that was before. It's hilarious. It's that Gold Coast bandwidth. I can hear you now, and you're even moving, Ralph. Grant. Jeez.
Seriously? I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
You hear me now?
It's working now. Yeah, it's working.
All right. Hang on, let me find out where it is. Oh, there we go. Okay. Nobody move, and we'll see if we can stay on. Can you hear me? Oh, serious?
Yeah.
Yeah? You got me?
Yeah, I'm just messing with you.
Oh, man. Idiot.
I was on the Gold Coast 2 days ago. Man, that trip went so fast. I flew up.
Quick for me.
Yeah, we landed in Brisbane, Sarah and I, and then we stayed at Tom and Carly's place. That's one of my sons. They live at Yarrabilba. I don't know if you know Yarrabilba. And anyway, we went and did what are they called? Escape rooms. Have you done escape rooms before?
Ooh, no, I haven't. How was it? You got out, obviously.
Awesome, man. It was. I got out. We did one in Bendigo here, and it was, for those that don't know what escape rooms are, you basically get put in this room and there's a heap of clues and puzzles and stuff around. There's usually a bit of a theme to it, and you've got to find like a way out of that room by using those puzzles and solving those puzzles. And we did one in Bendigo. It was very much a sort of a mind. I just saw it was a bit dark there. Very much a mind puzzle sort of situation, and we did that one. Anyway, we went to Brisbane, and Tom and Carly are like full on into these things, and they said, "Oh, there's one up here we haven't done," so we went and did it, and it was like an hour and a half. It's not just Ralph. I'm freezing too. Am I freezing too?
Oh, good. It's your internet connection, not mine. That makes much
Can't
sense.
be. It's not like you come to me. It's not. That's not how this works. There's like a place out there that we both connect to. Maybe it's just Patrika. Maybe if we just ban Patrika, it could well solve the problems.
I was getting kicked out. I figure it's just really busy online at 5 o'clock in the morning where I am. It's just people must be waking up to watch us, and it's stuff about the bandwidth from the area. That's what it is.
That's all it is. So we went and did this one in Brisbane, and it was like a full on, like you walk into, it's almost like you walk into a movie theater, like a movie set. Like everything is like done in this like steampunk sort of situation with things on the wall and pipes and stuff going everywhere. It was full on amazing. You know, it had an hour and a half to get out of this room. We did it in an hour because, you know, we're just legends.
Oh.
And
did they ask you to sit in the corner while they solved the problems? Just sit.
So Shane, we got this. You go sit over there and don't hurt anything. Too many Aussie. Oh, look, Scott Baker's there. Look at this fella. All these Canadians being so friendly and stuff in the morning. Yeah. Not freezing for me. Yeah, see? It's Patrika. Time to ban Patrika from the channel. So anyway, what the plan was to go and see Ralph, meet up with Ralph on, was it Wednesday?
Tuesday, Wednesday. It went back and forward, didn't it? Because I stuffed you around. I'm like, let's not do Wednesday, let's do Tuesday instead, because that'll work better.
You didn't stuff me around, you bastard. So we were meant to have, anyway, we were meant to go to these waterfalls and that night, the night before, we arranged like where to meet up and stuff. And then when I woke up in the morning, it's like I got this message saying I've got to isolate. Hence the mask in the thumbnail.
3 a.m. the news came through. Well, we didn't get it at 3 a.m. It came through. Lyndall's like, woke me up at 5, I think, and she's like, Hamish just got it. Like, oh, serious? That stuffs up things with Shane. Not like, oh, I hope my little boy's okay. It was just like, oh. Oh, yeah, is he all right? He was all right.
he's fine. Yeah. But that video was going to be epic.
Oh,
we didn't get it. I had to go there on my own. It was very lonely.
Yeah, it's a nice walk, but you're right. A photo trip when you're keen to go with someone else, it is a lonely experience when you go by yourself. Mm.
Well, especially with all the B-roll I was trying to get. So I had to try and get creative for that video with like setting up my phone in different places and walking past.
Oh, yeah. So many landscape photographers do that. Hey, they do the one where they set the camera up and they walk past it like a K, then they walk all the way back and get the camera and then walk all the way back. I can't do it. It's just I can't.
No. That's like sort of like jungle rainforesty up there. So I only had to put it down and walk like 10 meters and walk back. That was it.
Yeah.
I did it a few times, and when I was editing it, I put it all together. I'm like, this is stupid. Get rid of all that crap. Nobody wants to watch Shane walking through the bush. Not even Shane wants to watch Shane walking through the bush. So I've got like one of them. I ended up using one of them because I just couldn't bring myself to get rid of all of them.
How many did you do? Like 10?
No, it's probably like 5 or 6, I suppose. But by the time I got to the bottom there, I shot the video. The video I was actually shooting was with the S21, doing waterfalls with the S21. Oh, the S22. I've got to stop saying that. And I ended up shooting one photo with reflex. I put it on Instagram with the A and the B, like who knows which one. And I did one with even longer, and the even longer one I really struggled with, to be honest. I went, because the scene was such high contrast. I did. Like Mario put a comment on my post saying, "Oh, B's an overexposed even longer photo." That's great. I brought it all the way down, and still the waterfall was getting blown out. It was just
wow,
and to the point where I couldn't actually edit. So I'm not sure if I was doing something wrong there or not. But it speaks to the ease in which reflex works, I guess. On the iPhone,
the reflex is amazing.
Yeah, I've been pretty impressed with it.
Is it only on the iPhone at the moment?
Yeah, and it will only be on the iPhone, I would say. There's the same with even longer. It's a shame because there's so many Android phones out there that people would use this for. But you've
probably have to rebuild the app though. Hey, to put it on a different platform.
Yeah, I would say so. Not everyone has good smartphones like Ultra iPhones. Some of us have average phones like Realme GT or Realme Note 10. Please try and make a video on photography editing with average phones. It's going to be exactly the same. The process is going to be identical to everything else that I do here. Like whether it's the S21 Ultra or the Redmi Note 10, it's going to be exactly the same. If you've got a manual mode on your phone camera, it's going to take exactly the same photo. It's just that these ones are going to be better at it. It's as simple as that. The process is going to be exactly the same. Hope that makes sense. Spring has arrived in the US. No freezing here. That's a funny one. No internet freezing because spring's there.
Good one.
Not coming to BlackBerry or Palm. Oh my god.
BlackBerry, what are they? Oh my gosh.
What's a Palm?
Far out. That takes me back. I had a mate once that got a brand new BlackBerry, left it on the roof of the car the first day, it drove off, lost it forever.
No.
He was just devastated. This is when they were like $1,000 or something. It was crazy.
Back then it was the duck's nuts as far as phones went, BlackBerries.
Exactly. It's like, what, it can do that with all those buttons?
Does anybody still use BlackBerries? Do they even exist anymore? I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe.
Greeting from Guernsey, the Channel Islands. Good day.
I know some people from Guernsey.
Do you?
Yeah.
Is it Dan Hotshot?
Hotshot GSY. Must be Guernsey, right? The GSY. Hotshot. Dan Hotshot.
I guess.
No, but now it is. Okay, yeah.
That's the spirit. So we were going to shoot a video together with the waterfall stuff, and then we were going to go do some architectural stuff, and it just didn't work out. So I went up there, shot some stuff with the two platforms. I did the long exposure stuff with the iPhones. I'll probably just do that into a short, like a YouTube short or an Instagram reel or something. That's the way I've shot it, because I figure everyone knows how to do it already. And I did, as we were on, we stayed at Main Beach there on the Goldie for like 2 nights. And we stayed with Sarah's parents for 1 night at Runaway Bay. And both mornings I was up at like 3:30 like I normally am. Gold Coast is kind of dead at 3:30 in the morning. The only
I would have started to wake up at 4 though.
Yeah, that's right. I started getting some of the light trail stuff that I've got. That I think, did I send that to you? Well, no, I can't remember. With the car trail, the light trails from the cars down in Surfers Paradise.
Nice.
So I did that with the iPhone 13 and the S21 Ultra just to make sure I could do it across those platforms. And that was probably about 4 o'clock. You're right, when people started like moving. So yes, there you go. That's answered the question. Dan Hotshot.
PSY Guernsey.
Cool.
Come on.
There you go. So what I'll do. So when do you come out of ISO, dude?
Tomorrow. Unless one of us, there's 4 of us in the house, unless one of the other 3 of us are positive today, and then it's another week. Except Hamish, my 5-year-old, can go out by himself after tomorrow. So he'll be just wandering around the streets because he's free, and the rest of us will be locked up for the week.
Well, tell him to go to surface at 3 o'clock in the morning. Nothing happens till 4. He'll be safe.
I will. Yeah.
I think someone here locally, their kids got it from the school, and then but you've got to isolate. I think for 5 days or 7 days. I can't remember. I think it's different all around the bloody country, mind you.
Yeah, it is. Every state.
So they've had to isolate, and then one of the other kids got it. So everyone's still got to isolate for a bit longer. Then the mother got it, everyone a bit more. Then the father got it, everyone a bit more. So insane. Some people have been in isolation here for like 3 weeks. So,
we had friends that went down to Adelaide from the Goldie. Went down to Adelaide and for a weekend away, 40th birthday party for a friend went down. Their daughter caught it. And they spent 26 days in isolation in Adelaide for a 3-day trip.
Wow.
It was just brutal.
That's really sad. Yeah, like, no one wants to be in Adelaide for that long.
Exactly. Is that why you've got no subscribers from Adelaide? That no one's coming around? They're just not owning up to it, are they? I'm going to say I'm from Adelaide.
Well, what's Greg got to say? Oh, there you go.
They still
the latest Blackberries are on Android. There you go. You sure it's not just a Canadian thing? We've got them in Canada. So, I don't know if I'll tell you the story here or not. It's absolutely, mind you, there's nothing that we've spoken about so far that's iPhone or photography related at all. But I'll tell you anyway, because it's a really cool story. And whoever's watching, like, when I was talking to Denny Black, who's been on this show before, he was saying when we were having a chat, I don't know if it was on the broadcast or it was later. He was saying how he doesn't do live streams as much or anymore at all anymore because it hurts the algorithm for YouTube. Like you don't get as many viewers. Like right now, there's 7 people watching us, mate. How riveting is this?
Holy dooly!
Yeah. Now this is
That's
normally
exciting.
So because
that'd be 7 times more than I get if I got a live stream.
But normally this is sitting around about 30 to 40, somewhere around about that. So the ones that are here, they're the hardcore fans who are just going to listen to anything that we talk about.
That's who you want, right? Come on, they're the good ones.
Yeah, like that bloke, and that bloke, and that bloke, and I think Patrika's gone because the internet probably died in Belgium.
All right.
But I don't know if I told you. Did I tell you about my expanding family?
No. Congratulations.
No. It's not like that. Not like that.
All right. Take it back.
And take back the congratulations too, because that wasn't appropriate.
Sorry, Sarah.
But when are you doing Astro with the 22 Ultra? As soon as the moon phase changes. I've tried it with the moon and it's just too damn bright. Just can't do it. I even tried some Astro at the spit at 3 o'clock in the morning, but it was just too bright.
The moon's still up.
Killing it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's a full moon at the moment. So last Wednesday, I got this message on Facebook Messenger, and it said something along the lines of, you wait, Greg, that's going to be a live stream. Don't worry. And you better watch it. Anyway, this I got this message from this guy, and it said something like, "This is a really weird." I didn't know this person. Really weird, random question, but I'm pretty sure you're my uncle. And then he went on to talk about my brother and my family. We're kind of all all to the wind sort of thing. We don't really keep them very good contact with it. Yeah, that'll. And anyway, I'm like, what a load of shit. As if this guy's my bloody nephew. As if I wouldn't know about that. Anyway, he left me his phone number and I rang it. After, because I was driving a tractor at like 6 o'clock and 6:30 in the morning. And I get this message. I'm like, that's just totally weird. So I rang him and he says, I submitted my DNA through that Ancestry DNA or Ancestry.com DNA thing. I'm like, righto. Thinking, shit, where was I around this time? I said, I did a quick stalk of him on his Facebook page, and I took a screenshot and I sent it to Sarah. I said, do you think this person could be related to me? just like, do you have a son that I don't know about? Anyway, I ring him and he says, I've done this DNA thing, and it's like connected like to a cousin sort of thing, and it's come back and he's tested all these other people. Anyway, he's found he's found Ingham. He is actually my brother's son from way back in the 90s. My brother didn't even know he existed. It's crazy, mate. So I'll see if I can. I'll see if I
phone
can,
him up. Phone him up on the live stream right now. Yeah, come on. Let's have a chat.
No, that's going to be really, really bad. I'll see if I can.
From a DNA test.
What's that?
So all from a DNA test. So it must give you like a list of
from a DNA
people.
test.
How does that
yeah. So what it does? Oh, sorry. I'm looking for this bloody photo. There it is. I don't know if you can you see that? That's I'll just get my face out.
So he's a person. Oh yeah,
so that's him and I.
Spitting image. Oh, you met up with him?
Oh yeah, I went and had breakfast with him on
awesome.
Wednesday morning, I think it was.
Oh, so he's on the Goldie.
Oh mate, it's crazy. So my natural father, I've never known him. The guy that I've always known as my dad, he died a few years ago now. But he said, I've spoken to your father. And I'm like, what? This is crazy. Anyway, he's put me in contact with my father. I've had a phone conversation with this bloke.
Wow.
It's been just I was going to tell you all about this when I saw you, but obviously I didn't see it.
Well, talk about anyway, don't worry about the audience. Just keep having a chat.
I was going to say, all these other people are listening to it now.
Must remember that, not to share too much.
Don't share too much. So it was mind-blowing, mate. So this guy has not known anybody in his family besides his mother. And she's told him a few stories, I guess, that who his father was, and it wasn't accurate. And he's never had a family, so he's been searching for this link for 9 months, I think he said. He's been working on it pretty much every day, and then one day he found my name somehow. And that was, so he'd been going all this so slowly, like find little steps. And then he found my name, and I rang him, and I've gone, I know your brother. I know your father. It's my brother, and this is where I was at that time, and this is where he was at that time. And you've also got a sister, a niece, and blah, 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 blah.
Wow.
And this guy just mind blowing.
That's
crazy. Absolutely crazy.
And the poor fella ended up with you as an uncle. Oh, far out.
I
Of all
know.
the people in the world. Hey,
I know.
that's
He's like,
amazing.
I can't believe it's you. He's like, I know who you are. No, I'm just joking.
But did YouTube and your presence on YouTube help him find you easier?
Nope.
Really?
He didn't even know. He didn't even know about YouTube and stuff
He
as it
didn't
was
even know
because
you're
my
YouTube
name.
famous. Wow.
He didn't know. He knows now.
I bet he does. Is that all you talked about
him.
with him?
That's all, mate. That's all.
He said, that's your uncle, but let's talk about.
Let's talk about the algorithm. But he, because I was born Davidson, not Mostyn, and my mother's maiden name is Hadley, he's been looking for Adam, which is my brother, and Shane, Hadley or Davidson. Never Mostyn. He didn't even know about Mostyn, so he couldn't find it. And it was only on the Tuesday night he found out it was Mostyn, found me on Facebook or something, messaged me on Facebook, and voila.
That's incredible.
Crazy times. Yeah, crazy times.
So cool.
It's nuts. So he somebody else in the family has has submitted their DNA. He submitted his DNA, and it instantly became a match. So when you do that, it must say like we'll match you with everyone or something like that.
Yeah, you must give permission or not. Yeah,
you must have to. Yeah. But he was like, "Oh, would you do a DNA test?" I'm like, "I don't know you, dude." It's like, why would I give you my DNA? Come on.
Sure, here you go.
But since then, he has actually spoken to my brother, and he's confirmed the relationship with his mother and stuff. So I'm like, well, I don't need to do a DNA test. And then when I met this guy, I'm like, oh, he could be mine. Like looking at him, he's like, so many mannerisms and stuff. Was like, you sure you're not mine? It's crazy. But hey, that's not what we're here to. That's not what we're here to talk about.
That's the first half hour gone. It's so good.
Well, I remember doing a video, and I said I'll put more story into my videos if you like. And actually, I reckon it was Greg McMillan said, "Yeah, do that." So there you go, Greg. There's some story for you.
You got it all.
Crazy. So, with the S22 Ultra here in Australia, you've got to pre-order the bloody thing, and then if you didn't get that pre-order, you couldn't just walk into a shop and buy it. And even now, if you want to buy one, you've got to order it online to get it delivered to your house.
Is that because they're so rare? Like, is there not just a big shipment of them? You think they'd be flogging? I don't know.
Oh, they're probably blaming COVID for it somehow.
Probably.
Not sure why. But anyway, I thought I won't order one until I get home from the Goldie, on the off chance, because the stores are bigger than what they are in Kiuna, or they're more of a bigger shop, sort of bigger situation, bigger population.
Everything is bigger than Kahuna, except the tractors. So I went to JB Hi-Fi in Australia Fair, I think it was. So like on the Gold Coast, like bigger shopping centres and stuff. And I walked in and I said, "Oh, I'm after this. I wanted a new keyboard." Like a new keyboard? That's cool, isn't it? Ooh, look at
that. Yeah. And a new mouse. Look at that. I full on splurged. I splurged big time. There's even an external hard drive over here because I was running out of room for videos, but I can't show you that one because it's plugged in. Yeah. And that's the stream finished. and I said, "Oh, do you have one of these phones?" And they said, "Oh, you got to pre-order those, but we'll check." And they went out and they said, "I've got a 512 gig S22 Ultra." I'm like, sold. I didn't need all that storage space, but you've actually got one here, so I'm taking it. And and I did. So I haven't used it as a phone yet. I've just used it as the camera, because the case that I got from JB Hi-Fi, that's it there. The case that I got from JB Hi-Fi was just bloody horrible, to the point that I just couldn't carry it because it made the phone like that much bigger. It's like, it's a big phone anyway, and you're just making it so much bigger. And I got one of the
people would be staring at you saying, "Oh, how ugly is that guy? Look at his phone."
I know, right?
It's the Gold Coast. At least I got careful of those things.
I tell you what, we stayed at an Airbnb at Main Beach, and in the like the welcome pack, sort of like the briefing that you get when you go to an Airbnb, it talked about, hey, don't we like you staying in our place, yada yada yada, but if you're going to do the fake spray tan thing, please use this set of sheets instead of the white ones. I'm like, only on the Goldie would you get that. Only on the Gold Coast, they're going to tell you to change the sheets if you're going to do a spray tan.
That's so funny. And so, did you change the sheets? Because you're looking way browner than me, but it can't be the lights.
It's just the white balance. It's just the white balance. It's not spray tan, trust me. Yeah. So back to the phone. I got this case for it. It was a life-proof one, and I generally like the life-proof ones. And I saw it was light-proof. I went, yeah, life-proof, and I grabbed it because I've had that on my other phones, and I didn't realize it was a different sort of life-proof one. And it was this big clear plastic thing that added like a good half centimeter all the way around the phone. It was it was horrendously huge. And I ended up getting one of those screen protectors as well. And it was just shit. I've got bubbles all over this thing, like brand new phone. Took that off, put that straight on, bubbles everywhere. It's lifting on the sides because it's got the curved bevels, you know. So when Whitestone Dome says, hey, you want to do a review on our glass protective screen protector for this, I'll say, yeah, send it, because this one's shit. But I basically took the phone out every time that we went out at night for dinner and stuff. I said, I'm taking both phones, and just be prepared that you're going to be wasting a bit of, this is what I'm saying to Sarah, I'm going to waste a bit of time taking photos and stuff as we go around the place. So I'm going to show you guys a few things here. I haven't done the astrophotography yet. I see Ron Duval on the Facebook group has done a fair bit of it already, and it looks pretty impressive. It looks like it's a bit better than S21, but I'll do that as soon as the moon phase changes. But what I will show you is something that I don't normally get to show you guys, and that's photography that's not out where I am, as in rural Australia. I'll show you some stuff from the Gold Coast. So what I've got here is probably, I don't know, 4 or 5, 6 photos. One with the iPhone 13 Pro Max in night mode, and one with the S22 Ultra in night mode as well. This, so I'll share this here now. I might actually take us out of that stream, dude, so that people can see that a bit better. Is that going to be better?
All right.
Yeah, it's not that much better. I'll zoom it up if we need to. So this is a place called Versace on the Gold Coast.
6 stars.
We actually got married.
Is that your Airbnb? Did you really? Huh.
Yeah, we got married here. We got married at Sarah's parents' place, but we had the reception here. But don't sound like it's so impressive. Like we had 12 people or 16 people, and it was a few more than I actually wanted. Like, it's very, very small.
But you couldn't get rid of Sarah's family. Yeah, I hear you, man.
I think what we ended up doing, we invited aunties, and then husbands came or something like that. It was like, it's getting bigger than what I really wanted anyway. We didn't even have a photographer. How sad's that?
Wow.
What we did
right
do
now,
is,
you selfies with your phone, right? You'd be just like, I got this.
Do those ones because you're on the Gold Coast. But we basically had everyone take photos with their phones or with whatever cameras they had, and that's just the photos that we have from the day. It was like, it's a good location to get photos done. Like, inside that place is just epic. I don't know if you've been in there.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's a pretty good place. So anyway, this photo here is at 3:48 in the morning on the Goldie. This is the iPhone 13 Pro Max, and that's the S22 Ultra. These are both just regular night mode handheld photos. No editing that has been done to any of these photos. So if I zoom into, look at that Versace head up there, that's not too bad. And when you look up at this, let's zoom in up there. But it's
Wow.
They're poles apart. The detail that you get out of that S22 is just amazing.
How long was the night mode? Was it about 10 seconds?
So on the 13 Pro Max, it's 10 seconds, and on the Samsung, this was like 6 seconds holding.
Wow.
You can max it out. Like with that, it works a little bit differently. It just goes night mode auto and night mode max, and the max you've got to hold onto it, but pretty well still. But I didn't do that with any of these. These were all done just with the automatic mode. So it's anywhere between 4 and probably 8 seconds that these have been taken for. So
there's no movement player at all.
No, it's crazy.
That's super zoomed in. Like that's crazy zoomed in.
Yeah,
man,
that's him there. I'll zoom in out again. But even the foreground, which I've always rated the iPhone on, like look at that.
That's really nice there. Yeah,
it's so impressive. Like for anyone who's just trying to do this sort of thing, out and about without tripods, that sort of stuff, out at night time, out with friends and stuff. Like that's
a game changer right there. No,
it's crazy. It's crazy good. But I'm not sure actually. What's the inside look like? Actually, I thought maybe the inside's blown out, like the internals are blown out. But there, you can see that plant in the background there, and
it's handled the dynamic range incredibly well. Wow, look at that.
It's crazy. So this is all at night time. Then Sarah wasn't there for that one because it was 3 o'clock in the morning. But for the rest of these, yes. So this here is actually, it was dark as dark, but the moon's there. If you look closely on the ground, you can see the shadow there from Sarah. Like, so the moon's up over here somewhere. So this is the 13 Pro Max 10-second night mode. I was resting it on, you can see just down on the bottom here, there's that bar there. There's like
keeping the horizon straight for handheld in the middle of the day. Well done.
I actually took a couple of photos like this and went, I don't like how the horizon is. Just stay there.
I know the feeling.
But that's quite impressive. I think I'll show you the 22. There's that one as well. I'll look at this and I go, there's not that much different. But I think there's a bit more detail in the S22. If I change back to the iPhone, see the water looks a little bit like hazed over.
Can we zoom in on Sarah in the water?
We'll do exactly that.
Come on. She's sharp in that. Far out.
Should be glad to hear you say that. So there's
someone's got to tell her.
And this is the.
Is that the 22?
This is the 22.
That's insane. Look, go back up to that wave. Just go up a little bit to the wave.
Yep. So there's different parts of this that I think is just as good or better in different phones. Like when I go back to the iPhone, I think that the ground here, all that sand, is better on the iPhone than what it is here. This is all a bit kind of artifacted through this area here. So the iPhone certainly looks better there. This is the iPhone, so you can like see the footprints and stuff. It's not as badly artifacted, but the water on the iPhone is not that great. The water on the S20, look, you can see the wave breaking there.
Wave breaking.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Yeah.
And the fact that the camera knew to use that frame of the wave breaking.
Yeah,
rather than mush it all together. What about top left clouds?
Yeah, so I'll just go up here. Like so, that's like you can. Hopefully, you can see that okay. But then I look at this one and I go, I don't know if can you see the pixelation in that or not? Can you see that? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, can now.
And I'll zoom in on this one again. Wrong one, Shane. I want the other one. Oh, you can see the pixels there, or the noise, I should say. But I'll zoom in the same sort of, like, there's nothing there. The S22 is basically noiseless, handheld night mode at that sort of distance. Yeah. I've got a fly up on there. It keeps on walking over my negative magnifying glass, and I can't see if I'm clicking on the right spot or not. Yeah. But regardless, they're both bloody impressive. I think the sand on the iPhone I think is better, but the waves are better, and the cloud is better on the 22 for sure. This one is certainly interesting. These are all handheld, like I said before, no editing at all. And this is walking back from the beach, and you can see there how pixelated that is. So you can see
just crap, isn't it? Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, like you can see it says Park Lane there, and at the top of this building it also says Park Lane, but you can't tell in this. Wow. And I'll go back to this is the S22 Ultra, handheld again, and I know this was 4 seconds less than what the iPhone was, like handheld. So this is a 6-second photo. Yep, going too far. Hey, slow down. Hey, you're not all here for watching my technical ability of scrolling. Park Lane, that's pretty sharp. And I'll go to the top.
Even the balconies.
Oh, everything is, mate. And you can still read Park Lane up there. Wow. The detail is just incredible. And there's no noise on that photo. No. I was so impressed with this thing. We've got one more to show you here. Yeah, just one more. So this is as we were leaving for dinner. I thought this is a pretty typical sort of a photo that people would use this camera for in night mode. Like, not everyone's going to do what we do here with astrophotography and stuff. They're going to take photos of people at night. So this is actually in portrait mode with the iPhone, and again portrait mode on the S22 Ultra. And I'm going to zoom into her face. She'll be stoked that I'm zooming in so close to her face on a live stream that's going around the world. But if she's watching, she'll probably say something, but she just hasn't said anything, so that's okay. So what are you doing so close to my face? So it's very much blurry around the glasses and stuff. And on the S22, that's significantly clearer. It's cooler as well. Like, the white balance seems cooler. This is the iPhone 13. So that's certainly
yellow, the iPhone 13.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, and for all those people who carry on about the iPhone and how it's got these green dots everywhere, look at her neck. Right there. That's lens flare right there. And that's not the iPhone. I actually shot some video, handheld video, and I won't show it here. I'm building a video at the moment comparing the two in night modes. And I shot a heap of video on the Gold Coast with all different lights, like traffic lights and stuff around. And both of these things have that bloody, the lens flare that you get on the iPhone. Everyone says, the iPhone's terrible, yada, yada, yada. To me, that speaks for itself. I think that the S22 is the dark's nuts when it comes to this sort of photos. It's consistently good, whereas the iPhone was good in some times here. But the S22 is, I'm bloody impressed with it.
What do you think it is about the S22 that gives such good results?
The pixels are bigger.
Yeah.
So it's they're almost twice the size, I think it is. I'll cover. I'll do the research properly before I release that video. But I'm almost certain it's twice as big. That's letting a lot of light in.
So is it a bigger sensor?
So it's a bigger sensor, but the pixels are bigger as well, and they pixel bin on this as well, just like the 21. So once they're binned, they're quite a big pixel. I'd say that's why a lot of it is. So I haven't done anything really yet with the manual mode or the pro mode on the S22, because I'll use that for astrophotography, and I'll certainly use that the Expert RAW as well. That's the new functionality that they have with the RAW shooting on the Samsung. I'm pretty bloody impressed with that. What do you reckon?
It's very impressive. It's just you'd be stoked to get that out of any camera, really. Like, if that was pitch black, that shot you got now.
Yeah.
And the fact
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Siri, in the middle of a conversation. Far out.
That's normally me that does that.
Oh my gosh.
That's funny.
But it's choice of knowing what to freeze and keep really still.
Yeah.
If you're hand holding that on a bench, that's amazing.
Yep. You couldn't do that with a camera, mate.
No.
Doing that handheld, even that photo there is still sitting on. I've had the phone rested on top of the handrail, but even with a proper camera, you're not going to get that. It's going to be moving and shaking.
I reckon that's a 30-second exposure on a DSLR kind of light.
Potentially.
And for that, you'd have to have a tripod. Otherwise, just completely forget it. Yeah. Amazing.
It's just amazing. I'm really, really impressed with it. Yeah. So that's all I have to show you as far as that goes. Yeah. I did that release today? I don't know if that released today. The Star Trails with the Pixel 6. Not sure if I did that. If that was out today or not.
I think so.
I shot it like 2 weeks ago. And I ended up putting a few videos up for while I was away, so I didn't have to think about like recording or uploading anything. And it's not as good as you would want. Like the Star Trails that you get out of the iPhone and thanks, Greg. It was about 4 hours ago.
It is. 4 hours ago. There it is.
It's thanks.
Free app. Yeah.
There you go. When I every time I've tried that, a lot of people have asked me about that and about doing the Star Trails with the pixels. And yeah, sure. And I'm like, in theory, you can do it. And I did it a while ago, and the results weren't that great. And then I saw on one of the Pixel Facebook groups, people saying, "Oh, I've done this with the Pixel." I'm like, "There's no way that came from a Pixel. It's like a 4-minute long photo, and it brings it all together." So you've got 4 minutes of those stars moving through the sky, and you've got a photo at the 4-minute marks. So what's in here? There's nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing. So I thought my watch was going to do it just then. It started rattling and rumbling. But here we go.
Just rattled. Time to stand.
But
is that what it said?
It did actually.
Mine did the same thing, exactly the same moment.
We're synchronizing our sitting, apparently.
Oh, I tell you what, wow.
The results aren't that great. It's like kind of like Morse code going through the sky in a line. It's just not good. You'd have to take it off the phone, but you could probably do it with the video because it takes a 1 second long time lapse for every Astro photo on that phone. So you could probably do it that way, but you couldn't do it on the phone. You had to bring it off the phone. And everything I'm doing right now, I want to try and keep everything on the phone. So It was just like a dot through the sky. Really, really not impressed with that. It's the Pixel, I think, is probably. And I was talking to Sam Beckman. Did you see him on here? I think you might have.
Watched that last week.
He came on here. Yeah, last week.
The live one. Yep.
Yeah, very, very knowledgeable guy. And he had he was using the Pixel as his daily phone, and he came to the same sort of conclusion. Like it's a very, very good camera most of the time. Like it's not consistently good. It's good, but not consistently good. Whereas the iPhone is consistently good.
Yeah.
And it does, in my opinion, it does astrophotography incredibly well, but the rest of it, not so much. I haven't even put the SIM card in the Pixel 6 yet. I don't think I even will.
Yeah.
I'll certainly put it in this here though. This here is bloody impressive. I end up getting an OtterBox. Where will it go? Where will it go? Can you see it? I'll move my head out of the way, that way. So it focuses. It's not going to go.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
OtterBox. And I'm getting that one. It's a thinner one, so it doesn't feel as big. Like when it's taller.
Oh yeah.
But I think the iPhone is slightly wider. Only by a bee's dick in that one, not by much at all. Can image stacking mimicked with double exposures increased image quality? Can image stacking mimicked? I'm not sure. Oh, wait there. Look at this. I don't even need to talk.
Far out. He's like your tech guru. He's just onto it, eh? Like, there's an answer.
Is he a tech guru, or is he just someone who likes sending people away from my channel? Damn you, Greg.
Check out David Addison. He's way better than Shane.
He just speaks funny. In Snapseed, I'm going to say no. In Snapseed, no. Snapseed's not going to increase that image quality. It's just not. I think you could do it if you're talking about astrophotography and things like this, or focus. What do you call it?
Focus stacking.
Thank you. Is that right?
Yeah. Where you take you focus your background and then stick it all together.
Yeah.
So
you can do all that sort of stuff in Photoshop, and it's going to make the image a damn sight better. But I don't think, in theory, you could do the focus stacking with Snapseed, but it's not going to make the overall image better. I don't think it's going to reduce the size of that image, because that's what it does. Yeah, I also believe that there, Mike. I think Greg's getting kickbacks. The Canadian's getting kickbacks from the Englishman. That's what it is. Yeah, that's pretty much all I had to talk about today. I just wanted to show you some photos from that, tell you the stories about Goldie. You got anything you want to share with us, mate?
I was going to ask, what do you vlog on? Do you vlog on a phone, or what camera do you use?
Different things. It's the phone a lot of the time, because it's there. So some of the who talks funnier? You talk much more polite, and he just sounds like an Englishman. So he's always going to be behind the eight ball. Yeah, that's sorry, Dave, or any other English folks that are watching.
How to win friends and influence people.
I read the book and I totally disagreed.
This is crap.
I don't know this. I don't need to know it. I don't need this. So I will use the iPhone. Actually, I'll even use this now because this shoots really well, really good video as well. But I use the iPhone, like the B-roll stuff that I did for. You'll see it in the video. For the waterfall stuff, because I've done a quick montage of like leaving home, airplane, driving, walking, waterfall, and that's all done with the phone. But vlogging while I'm talking, I don't do vlogging very much, really. I'm usually setting up a tripod and standing in front of it talking. But I've still got the ZV-1 I use for that. It's designed for vlogging and it works really well. The 6400, which is this one here, it works quite well with the lens that I've got on there at the moment. It goes to 17 mil, so it's quite wide when I need it to be. Yeah, so I'll use either of those. I don't do vlogging as such very often at all, though, to be honest.
Yeah. You'd have a GoPro as well in your kit?
Not anymore. I've got rid of all my GoPros. I just don't do enough with it. When I have people asking me about GoPro stuff now, when in the comments, can you do something with this and this and this? I usually refer them to Danny Black. So go and check out his stuff. He does lots of reviews and he does a lot of GoPro stuff. So it just, to me, it just makes sense. If I can stay in my line or my lane, if you like, I'll try and do that. And if I know someone who else I can that's doing something that people are asking, I'll point them that way. If I can help them find the solution, that's just what I'll do. But I'm not about to. With what I do here, it's just really want to stick to that low light phone stuff.
It's really because when you started, it was small sensor, hey. So there was the allowance for GoPros and even drones, but it's really channeled into phones, hey, and then even more so into Astro. Yeah,
definitely,
Nice.
So it's low light or long exposure. It's like when I did that the podcast with Dusty Porter a week or two ago. I was thinking about the answers that I had then that he was asking, the questions about the niching down. I'm like, it really has gone that way. It's really got closer and closer and closer and closer. And I'll say it's low light, it's Astro, and long exposure, because those three things are really, you need long exposure to do Astro, you need low light to do Astro. And if I keep on those things, even with the waterfall stuff, that's still a long exposure photo. So that's how I'm thinking of it, and just keep it to that. Anyone else that sends me stuff to say, can you review this? I'm just going to say, nah,
No.
it's got to fit it pretty hard now. No, you won't see microphones and crap on here anymore. It doesn't suit. It doesn't suit. No one's winning in that. Like, even the people who say, oh, can you review this for me? I'm like, yeah, it's great. Not many people are going to watch it. My audience who want to watch astrophotography and stuff with phones, they don't want to know how that desktop microphone works. Some did, but the vast majority of them didn't. So just keep the niche, keep in the lane and carry on. So
and with
that was a lot
with such
what I use for vlogging. Sorry, mate.
That's so good. It's interesting. Hey, so when you're niching down to low light phone photography, really, like, that limits the amount of ideas. Do you have a bunch of other ideas that you're like, hey, I wish I could do this, but I can't?
Yep. So what I'm looking at is the same way I used to do it before I even thought about doing YouTube. As I would drive around looking at, I'd see different things and I'd go, that would make a kick-ass astro photo. Now I go, that's going to be a kick-ass astro photo. I need to make a video about how I shot that. And the technical side of things are not going to be that different. I might be doing the light painting a little bit differently, but technically it's going to be the same as these other videos. But people are still going to watch it because it's still going to make a cool photo with a phone. And there might be just like one or two things that I throw into that like the regulars like Greg and Mike and so forth, that they'll know how to do this stuff, but they may not have looked at it and gone, oh shit, I didn't even think about doing it that way. So it will hopefully suit the hardcore enthusiasts as well as the absolute dead set beginners who have never watched anything of mine before. So that's how I look at doing those. We've got some comments here. I'm using a few apps you suggested. I suggest a lot of apps. So 2 a.m. in the morning, have light pollution in my location. Not what phone do you use? If you're using in light pollution, that's the best thing about the Pixel series phones is they are just unbeatable in light pollution. When you've got a lot of light pollution going on, the Pixels will just kill everything. Every other phone camera out there, they're just incredible for it. But if you're shooting anything that's manual or an iPhone, you may struggle with the light pollution. Aurora HDR for HDR landscapes, like photography, and what are your thoughts? I've never used Aurora. Have you used Aurora?
I've not used Aurora. I've used a few of the others, and they're pretty good. The problem I found is every program is really good at doing one thing that costs like $100. And so for one image that I bought this program, it's called Landscape something or other, and it was an Astro shot. And what it did was it took 8 different Astro exposures and brought them all together. So you just got a deep Milky Way, and the end product was incredible. And like Nikon recognized that, and I was stoked with it. But the image itself cost like $100 because you're buying the software to achieve the thing. And I've used it like twice since.
Yeah,
just
right.
Like, that's I reckon the problem with that specialized software.
Yeah, I absolutely agree 100%. There's things that I've bought just like what you said, and they're a one-trick pony. And for the amount of money that they cost, it's needs to do more tricks than that. Where you look at things like Photoshop and Lightroom, well, they do all the tricks for the most part, and you can get, for the most part, with things like HDR, which is what this fellow's asking about, is you can do HDR with all of those. You can do HDR with Lightroom. It's just how you capture it from the phone, and push it in that way. So I don't know. I'm always since being just like what you've been stung there with a program that does that one thing only. I've done the same thing, and now I look at software and I go, oh no, I reckon I can achieve that by using this one a bit better. So that's my thoughts on that. Sounds to me like it's your thoughts on that too.
It is. I agree.
Oh yeah, you'll be hooked. You'll be hooked. When I first started doing astrophotography workshops with like DSLRs and mirrorless cameras and stuff, and people who had never ever shot it before. I had a friend he would bring people up from Melbourne. He's Matt Crummins is his name. He lives down in Melbourne. He runs photography workshops. That's what he does for a living. Anyway, him and I hooked up with Astro Photography, and he started bringing people from Melbourne up here to Kahuna, and they'd come up here for 1 or 2 nights. We'd go out one night shooting, and then the next day we'd show them how to edit it and stuff. And most of these people have never, ever, ever captured the Milky Way before, or the galactic core before, because they're from Melbourne. And they've come up, and most of them have got all these wonderful whiz-bang cameras, and they put them on a tripod. And the very first, Matt and I used to watch their, never ever looked at their photos on the back of the camera. You just watch them, and you wait till that 30 seconds is up, and it gives you that preview, and you watch their face go. It's like, you're hooked. That's it.
Mind blown. Yeah.
You'll be doing this forever. And I'm the same way when it comes to Astro with the phones. When I'm so keen to see what this S22 is going to do. Like the S21, it was just amazing what it could do, what it could pull out of the sky. The iPhone, when I first shot it and got such good crisp detail in that truck with the stars behind it, I was like, that's just amazing. That's just friggin' incredible. And it just blew me away at how good that is getting. And he's absolutely on the money. The first photo you're going to take with that phone, yeah, you'll be blown away. Blown away. You're using the iPhone 13 Pro Max. In that case, you're definitely going to want to have Lightroom, and you're going to make use of that dehazing slider. If you're in light pollution with the iPhone 13, if you're in light pollution with an iPhone, it's going to make a lot of haze in that photo. So definitely get Lightroom. That dehazing slider is going to be your savior when it comes to light pollution. Looks like that's all the questions. You have anything else, mate?
Oh, I was just going to ask, how was doing the interview with Dusty Porter?
It was quick.
How long did you have you on for?
Probably 40 minutes, I suppose.
Yeah.
I think you've obviously listened to his stuff. I imagine you have. Yeah. And have you listened to the one that I was on?
No, not yet.
Oh my God. You're supposed to be my friend. Geez, thanks for the support, mate. It was.
I was going to put it on my car when you came up. We could listen to it all the way up to the waterfall, and you could just comment, give me real time comment as we go up. That would have been great.
So like all of his videos, it's all of his interviews, I should say. He'll have a creator on who has done something really well, and they'll concentrate on that something. They have the regular questions like, how'd you start? What advice would you give to someone starting? That sort of stuff. Or what happened that you thought, tell us something that you didn't expect to happen, or tell us something that you wish you knew before, that sort of stuff. But for mine, it was a lot about niching and the rapid growth because of that niching. So that's the majority of what that interview was about. But yeah, he did, like I say, he did all the regular stuff, like the advice that you would give people who are starting, and the thing that I didn't expect, or the one thing that you wish you could tell people, the one thing that happened that you didn't expect, or something like that. And it was all, for me, it was like this community. It's something that I didn't expect to be important, or as important as it is. And now it just is. Not now. When I'm thinking, do I really want to get my ass out of bed and go and shoot that video? I'm like, yeah. And I think, Greg McMillan would want to watch that, so I'll get up and I'll go and shoot the video for Greg McMillan, sort of thing. So there you go, Greg. Just to make you uncomfortable, while I'm laying awake at night in bed, I'm thinking of you. Every I move to South Dakota, you'll find dark. South Dakota? What football team do you have in South Dakota? I don't know. What baseball team do you have in South Dakota? Oh, did you see I did some shopping for hats? Because
Pirates.
Right, this is the Pirates hat. I won't go get them. They're all up there. I've always collected caps, and Um,
How many did you buy?
yeah, 3, 4, 5, 5 or 6. Yeah. See, like the hat that you're wearing there with the flat peak.
Yep.
I don't like that. I don't like it.
Don't like flat back.
Don't like it. Yeah. I think it. So I actually got a couple. I'll go grab one.
Now that he's gone, everybody. Oh, oops, he's back.
So I went into the shop and I'm like, I don't know if you saw on Instagram, there was like this wall of hats. It's called Culture Kings, I want to say, but I might be wrong in saying. That's what it's called, is it? Yep. And they had like just heaps of hats. And I walked in and I said, I want a hat. It wasn't like this, it was just a black one, but without the adjustable on the back, you know how they got the press stud thing. Denver Broncos cap. That's a great idea. I actually don't mind the Broncos. I didn't see any for the Broncos anywhere I went. But it's interesting how many hats they have for basketball and football teams. It's like they're baseball caps, for crying out loud. So I try to only buy baseball team caps. I used to play baseball when I was younger. And now and then I'll find a hat and I'll go, I just like the hat, but it's a football team. I don't think I've ever bought one that's a basketball team. But anyway, I go in there. I said, I want it closed in because like I got no hair, and when I'm outside, last thing I want is like a semicircle of sunburn on the back of my head. It's right there. I think we're losing people. It's so hard to understand the conversations and context. As in what we're talking about? Not sure. I don't have a Blue Jays one either. So I went in there and all I had was these like flat peaks like what you've got going on there. And the guy in there, he's like, no, you can bend them, and they've actually got hat curvers. There's a tool to curve that.
Wow.
Like that. This isn't one of those. This is a proper curved one. This is what I prefer to wear, like this sort of thing. And they just don't make the damn things anymore. I was able to find this one and a new Red Sox one, and the rest of them were flat ones like this.
Hey, gosh.
But I've had to just curve them, sort of thing. Anyway,
there you go.
That was my shopping adventures.
Didn't know there was a tool for it.
I bought 3 or 4 hats from that Culture King. So I think only 3 because they're like $60 each for a freaking hat. But like I've got nowhere here that I can buy them, and I like hats, and they're good for the channel because it tends to people will talk. Guarantee you, the next time I wear, anyone's hearing a repetitive background noise. Yes, everyone is. Let me just change that for you. It's a new feature on StreamYard that has this music in the background. I'm not sure if I like it yet or not. I'm afraid it's in my head. I could put that music back on the same track, and it will also, I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe it's in your head. Anyway, I bought these hats, and he says, "Oh, if you spend another $20, because they're like $60 each, so I spent $180 on 3 freaking hats at this one stop, and if you spend $20 more, you get a cap carrier." And I'm like, "What?" He says, "A cap carrier. It's like this case that you put your caps in." I'm like, "Dude, you just wear the freaking things."
Wow.
They're material. Like, he's like, "How do you keep them?" I said, "I hang them on hooks in my room."
You kick
what
you
are you
out
talking
of that.
about?
Get out.
Get out. You need to leave now. Don't say that in front of everyone. We'll try to sell them this shit. But what are you talking about? What's baseball or basketball or ball for that matter? You Belgians. You just like drink beer and eat bread or something, don't you? Eat waffles. Waffles. What Belgian waffles? Isn't that one?
They're so good. Belgian waffles.
Absolutely. I think I've answered everything else in here. So for those that have asked, Greg, I do not have one. The size of these caps is 7 5/8, I think it is. 7 5/8. Big head on this one. It's all the brains that get stuck in there. So you know my address, Greg. And I'm keeping you up, mate. You're yawning. And Mike, yes, I need one. 7 5/8. I've got a friend who lives in Wisconsin. He took me to Lambeau Field. Absolutely amazing to see where the Packers play. And if I knew that I was going to start a YouTube channel, I would have put every hat in there. Like, I quite like the. I don't know if I want to tell people I like the Packers, but I really, really enjoyed my time there. And as a result, I'm kind of like a fan of that football team. I've got jerseys and everything. But I can't find Packers hats. Everywhere I went, I found in this Culture Kings place, they had 2 Packers caps, and they were like golf caps. They were like this weird material, and it was like, I don't want that shit. I want hats like these with Packers on them. So yeah, I've told him next time you go to Lambeau Field, this is my size. Buy every hat. Tell me how much it is. I'll send you the dollars. Send me the hats. Yeah. So next time he goes there, that's what he'll be doing. Yeah. Anyway, that's it for today. I think been on here for an hour and 11 minutes and 31 seconds. You can go back to bed now.
Yeah, I will. Sounds good.
So what have you actually been doing in isolation? What have you been doing?
Not much. Well, I've still been working and stuff, so it's been pretty hectic because I can't be anywhere. I've had to arrange a ton of stuff, which is just phone call after phone call. Playing with the kids a bit. I've made 2 videos, one short and one longer video. And just been trying to sort out a bunch of stuff. You know how you have all that stuff that just grows of like, you got to do this to your website and do that, and I had to edit some stuff and did a little bit of that. So, yeah.
It's a funny thing. Like Sarah said to me before we went away, you really need to increase the price of your wedding photography. I'm like, yeah, I really do. I'm pretty cheap. And in my head, I'm like, I really got to do that when I've got time. Since then, I've taken another 3 bookings at the old price. I'm like, it's time to upgrade the website, dude. It's costing you money.
Yeah, that's right. It's the
cricket,
most unappealing thing.
Where was that? Do you love cricket? I used to love cricket. I loved cricket when. I don't so much now. Like now, I look at the way that the cricket players carry on now. I think you're a bunch of spoiled little bastards. I look at it. I was a massive fan of cricket when like Steve Waugh was the Australian captain around that time when Shane Warne first started playing, when Glenn McGrath was playing, like all those people.
Bit of Merv Hughes action.
That because there was character in it. There wasn't. It was obviously about money, but now it seems to be like mainly about money. Yeah, it was just good. I really enjoyed it. Now it's not so much. Can I put in a shameless plug? Of course you can. He's going to talk about this, I bet. The sweetest smelling podcast in the world. I don't know what he wants to put a shameless plug in. He hasn't actually said anything else. So there's a shameless plug. Is that what you mean? Or do you mean like that? That's a shameless plug. It's a USB-C cable and it's shameless.
That is a shameless joke. Terrible.
Oh, here we go. I'll be putting on an interview I did with Joe Bradford, author of Good Snapseed Editing Book. That's who that is. I meant to ask you who that was. Greg was sending me messages as I was about to hop on the plane. And that was, I meant to ask him, who is this dude? Because I haven't heard of him before. And now that I know who it is, well, I'll listen to your podcast anyway, Greg. It's usually quite an entertaining listen, except when you have David on there. Not David Podman, the other one, the English one. He speaks weird.
Oh my God!
It's a shame he's not on here. He's a she. Oh, Joe, right? See, they'll switch and bait and switch. Joe could be either or. These days it could be many things. Cricket. Well, what do you mean you don't understand it? Someone bowls the ball, someone hits the ball. What's there to understand? What sport do you play in Belgium? I actually don't want to close the stream right now because I want to hear the answer to that question. What sport do you play? Soccer. I bet it's freaking soccer.
Yeah, it's gonna be football than soccer. Yeah, for sure.
Football. We're just gonna wait now until he responds.
Yeah, gosh. Load that to an hour and 45 minutes just waiting.
He's probably sitting there. I'm not going to hit enter. I was going to see how long these mongrels wait. Oh, you know what's happened? The internet in Belgium just shit itself. Go kitten pants. That's my sister-in-law right there. That's what she calls me, kitten pants.
I think that might have to be the new name of the channel, actually, Kitten Pants. That's good. I'm going to write that one down so I remember to call it to you. That's good. Kitten Pants.
I probably shouldn't have told you.
Great you did. Kitten Pants.
The game of cricket takes forever, doesn't it? That doesn't help us, mate. What sport do you play in Belgium?
Come on.
I think it is. Greg, is that interview you're going to put on YouTube? Because if it goes well, I might invite her on here because I think people would get quite a bit out of that. You should go to the Formula One race in Melbourne. But then I've got to go where people are, and I don't like people.
I went to the F1 in Melbourne.
It's a good idea.
That was incredible.
Yep.
Gosh, that's fast and loud. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I went to the when I was working on the Gold Coast. Was it Bartercard? Do you remember Bartercard? Do they still exist?
Yeah.
Bartercard?
I don't know if they exist. Not in Australia, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. Actually, it's in Burley that used to. I think they closed.
There used to be the Indy 500. Used to be like Bartercard was a major sponsor of that. And because the company that I worked for, we did a lot of work for Bartercard, so we would always get invited to their corporate boxes for Indy. And I went one year, and my God, it was so bloody loud. And you would watch we were right on the pit lane, like straight, like start finish line sort of thing. And you'd only see these cars for like 2 seconds. Yeah. Okay, that was great. Yeah. You spend all your time watching the TV, and I thought I could do this at home for crying out loud.
Yeah.
It will be on YouTube by the look of it, that interview. I'm keen to see how that goes. We like football, real football, where you use your foot to kick a ball. I'd like to tell you there, Mr. Petrika, that AFL uses the foot to kick the ball.
They all do, don't they?
Rugby union, rugby league, they all use feet to kick a ball.
Even gridiron.
They just know how to catch it as well, mate. That's all. If you can't walk and chew gum at the same time over there, I don't know what to say. F1 Ferrari. There we go. Well, it might be worthwhile. I don't know how good it would go. I'm mindful of when I go do this sort of stuff, how I'm actually going to physically shoot a video to show what I can do. Even the waterfall, when you see the waterfall video, the noise from the waterfall is just horrific. I've tried to do everything I can to bring that tone down in the audio in my edit, but it's you can hear it fine. You can hear it okay. It's just so loud. Yeah, it is what it is. I actually got a new toy. I'll show you. Hold on. You didn't carry on because I wasn't here. What's going on?
Yeah. I was last time I tried, and then you came back too quick. I was like,
right.
Take over the channel.
I like Australian football. Do you watch Aussie Rules? AFL?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm a Bulldog supporter. They got the granny last year. You lost to Melbourne. Although I'm glad.
That's right. You're from Shep, aren't you? I forgot.
Yeah. As I said to people, I'm like, if you're going to lose to anyone, Melbourne's the one to lose to. Like, you don't hate Melbourne. A lot of the other clubs you really don't like. But Melbourne, I'm like, that's good. Could lose to someone.
Yeah. We don't watch football at all. I don't follow at all. Like to the point where, you know how they have the public holiday down here for the AFL Grand Final?
Yeah.
And it was. Who'd you say you went for?
Bulldogs, Western Bulldogs.
See, they were playing the final.
Yeah.
And I've got a feeling it was like West Coast Eagles or Fremantle or someone like that they were playing against. This was a few years ago.
Yeah.
And I remember putting a comment on Facebook or something like this because I just don't think that's worth a public holiday. It's a football game, for crying out loud.
Yeah, I agree.
I put this post on Facebook about there's not even two Victorian teams. There's two teams from Perth, like the West Coast Eagles and the Western Bulldogs. And people are like, Western Bulldogs is a Victorian team. I'm like, that's how much I know about football. So when we have when you go to someone's house and all the blokes are sitting around the barbecue talking about football, I'm like the leper in the corner talking about technology and stuff. So my the thing that I have struggled with and struggled with on this channel is audio. It's something that I just absolutely suck at, and it sometimes if it sounds good in a video, it's a fluke that it sounds as good as it does. Like, it's just something that I've really struggled with. There's been times where I've uploaded videos and it's only got one channel playing, so everything's in the left ear. It's a kick-ass video. It's ranking really well, but all these comments are like, I can only hear on my left ear. My left ear really appreciated your content and all this sort of stuff. So I've done that. And other times where it's just so echoey and it just sounds bad. And so I've actually invested in one of these.
Oh, yeah, I've gone in. Yep.
A Zoom H6.
Yeah, nice.
It's got the same one.
Same one.
So are you using that as your
H5.
mic now, are you?
Yep, and I use a Rode. Oh, here we are. I wonder if I can pull it down. Yeah, like a shotgun, big boom shotgun mic. The whole setup cost about $1,000, but yeah, NTG 5B maybe, something like that. The whole setup cost about $1,000, but no. Like, hang on, I'll pull it off. It's
it's not the same. Not the same at all.
No. Yeah, because my audio is just sketchy as, and so this I get comments that the audio is just crisp and clear, and I hardly have to do anything to it. It's different when I'm outside, but yeah. Yep.
So have you got this plugged in at the moment? You're using this for live streaming now?
No, at the moment I'm just using my headphones and a crappy webcam. But so I have this plugged into this.
Yep.
And this kind of booms over the top of the camera usually. And this sits on my desk and picks it up through.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So what have you got that going into then?
Well, what do you mean? So that
you've got that. Yeah, what it was? Yep. You got that into a receiver now, have you?
Yeah. So that just goes straight from the mic, into that. Yep.
Okay. Oh, look at this bloke. He's out of bed.
Hey!
Out of bed at this time in the morning. You must have had a gig last night, mate.
Maybe he's still at his gig.
It could be. It could be.
He's on the way home. I'll jump on for a few minutes.
Website called Orphonic. That's interesting. I've never heard of that. That seems like a really big extra step in your editing process.
Really Is it big. Free? How much does that cost, Greg?
So early. We were just talking about you before, Daddy.
We were.
People asked me about GoPro stuff, and I'm like, I can't be bothered. Go talk to Ganny. Go and see his stuff. He's not out of bed. Just so I'm clear, you're laying in bed right now, watching and listening to us.
The smooth, soothing
Very concerning. I'll change that music to see what else we can. Okay, 2 hours free a month.
Oh, that's pretty good.
That's all right. Might have to have a look at that. Should be able to do it all locally now that I've got the tools that I want to do it. Yeah. Anyway, now that we've jibbered on for another 10 minutes about just superfluous shit, we should probably pull the pin on the stream and bid everybody a farewell. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Thanks, Ralph, for getting up so early.
Thanks for having me. It's been good fun.
I know that you're going to sit at home now and do nothing for the rest of the day.
I've got to cut the grass. All this yard work.
I did that yesterday. Been away for a few days. We've had a bit of rain, and it was like that long. So I had to. I mow. It's probably the best part of an acre, I suppose, around the house and the gardens and stuff. And I recently got a grass catcher for the ride-on. And yesterday I took nine trips out the back to our compost pile to empty out the catcher. There was a lot of grass.
Wow.
That's exactly what he's doing. Just keep your hands above the covers and we'll be happy, mate. There's a little trade secret. That's where I set up the chapters and add photos. Yeah, right. That's interesting. Very interesting. All right. See you guys. I'll see you in 2 weeks. And I've got a couple of videos coming about this S22 Ultra with some long exposure stuff that I've done and a good comparison video as well. Thanks for coming on, Ralph.
Thanks for having me.
See you guys next week.
Kitten pants.
Catch you later.